Okay, so this is a cruise in for 80s and 90s cars. Yeah. This is a cruise in for 80s and 90s cars.
Go over there for my chair up. I gotta get my chair up. It's crazy.
So it's a lot bigger turnout than I thought it would be. But it's for 80s and 90s cars. 80s and 90s cruising. Do your lights cut off by themselves?
What's that?
Do your lights cut off by themselves?
No, they don't. Good
Okay.
call.
Okay. Well, remember when these came out? You have this is the SVO, right?
Yes, sir. It's a 1986 SVO.
S86. Okay.
It's got a 2.3 liter turbocharged inline four.
Right.
The base engine is out of a Pinto, actually.
Right.
But they slapped a turbocharger and an intercooler on it, and it boosted it up to about 200 horse.
Right. And to be honest with you, I remember seeing state troopers drive these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess. I'm trying to bring her back to life at the point.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You're driving it.
Yeah, exactly. Mechanically, it's all there.
Oh, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Honestly.
I know, it's so cool.
Now, was this the first year of the single lights?
No. So, 84, 85, they had this recessed light.
Okay.
I had the 84, 85 headlights. Not sure why the previous owner put them on, but he did. I kind of wanted a more flush look, so I added these lenses. They're aftermarket. But the 86 is stock. They had kind of like what the new Fox
right, right,
with the flush headlight.
Okay.
So they changed the whole bumper?
No, the bumper is exactly the same.
Just the headlight assembly?
It's just the headlight assembly. So the lens came all the way out to here and was flush with the marker lights.
So interesting buying a guy with an older car. You don't know the history of it.
Yeah, it was like they were supposed to be flush the entire time. It was supposed to be a more aerodynamic deal, but they couldn't get a DOT approved until 86. Okay. And that's, and then 87, they changed all the Fox body headlights to be the same.
In 87?
Yeah, it might have been 88.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right. Because I do remember a guy said he had like an 84 or 85, and he said it was the last year of the 4 eyes.
I want to say it might have been 86, actually. I think 87 was the first year of the new headlight.
Okay.
So that was like the mid-generation facelift they did.
I do remember this recessed version, and then I remembered the version that came all the way around. Mm-hmm. I don't know much about Fox bodies. I just remember them from.
Yeah, you see that guy over there? He's got what they call
the 4 eyes. Yes, yes.
And this is technically a 4 eyes Fox body because of the year, but because it's an SVO, it has a completely different headlight pattern.
Okay, so the SVOs had a different. That was part of the difference.
They had unique headlights.
Okay, I knew that there was a whole lot of things different about it. What about suspension wise?
Suspension wise, it's honestly completely different.
Okay.
They've got a quick ratio steering rack that changes the entire front steering geometry.
Okay.
They had a unique size differential with axles that you just can't find anywhere. I'm lucky enough, mine has an 8.8 in the rear.
What was the gear ratio? Don't worry about it. If you don't know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's okay.
It was like
I'm glad I finally got a chance to talk to you about this car, because I remember these cars, but I just everybody didn't have them.
right.
You know, most of the people had the regular 5.0.
Yeah, well, they only made about 98.
They didn't make any. They didn't make many of them,
And
right?
they made over, I think, like 2.2 million Fox bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky enough to find this thing in Virginia last summer for very, very cheap.
Wow.
Like $3,500 cheap.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And it's a stick car, right?
Mm-hmm. 5-speed.
Okay.
It's got to be an SVO right there. I can
Yeah.
the turbo
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what it
Yeah.
is.
The only people who recognize are the ones with the gray hair. Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm proud of.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, it's-
I remember when these came out. I remember when the state troopers used to drive them.
I thought
Yep.
they drove the 5.0s back.
They
in
drove the
day.
5.0s, but in 70, what was the first year they came out with the
84.
SVO? Okay. Well, I remember seeing some. I don't know how many had them, but I did see one because they had these are the ones with the single exhaust.
Not stock. Not factory. So this one has an aftermarket exhaust. The factory exhaust is dual tip.
Right. Right. And so I do remember the first state trooper Mustang I saw had that SVO exhaust pattern. Yeah. And it was a North Carolina state trooper car.
Okay.
Black and silver.
I'm used to them being the notchback.
Well, there was a lot of them. There was a lot of them.
Okay.
That came after that. But when the Fox bodies first came out, because I was in what they called back then junior high school,
Okay.
I do remember seeing them pull people. I do remember that. And there probably weren't many, but I do remember seeing that.
That's sick.
Hey, well, thanks for telling me about this.
Yes, sir,
you know,
man.
because I didn't know much about them, and I didn't see a lot of them, but I do remember them.
Yeah, no, it's good seeing them around. There's about 4 or 5 other people in the area that have them. I see every now and then. So.
Right.
Identical red Plymouth Prowler. That's too funny.
Yeah, yeah. And I wish that they still made them, because you had a big car. You had a big car with with compact gas mileage. Yeah. Never seen 2 Plymouth Prowlers in one place. A Plymouth Prowler. A Plymouth Prowler. Okay. Plymouth Prowler. Okay. This is the last time you've seen 2 Plymouth Prowlers at one time. Okay. $253 horsepower. Okay. Okay. Plymouth Prowler. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
Nice. I love the doors. I love them.
Yeah, I like that one.
Plymouth Prowler. I've never seen 2 in one place.
Neither have I.
Life.
I have not seen where somebody has taken off the front fender pieces. Yeah. That's cool. I like it. You got the headlight pieces from there too? Yep.
You get everything from there. The hardest part for me to find is that little joint.
Yeah, no, I've got a purple one. I kept not found
That was the hardest part for me to find.
I like the inside. And the seats, you had a special upholstery to that? Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Well, they suggested for me to go to this guy, and he did a phenomenal job. I was so happy with him.
Let me ask you this: how much do they weigh?
They're super light.
Right.
What is it, like 3,000, I think,
I
pounds?
thought it was like 2,800 or something.
It's less than
I know that
3,000
they
pounds.
had to be pretty light, and that's some good power for a light car like this.
Well, V6, 250. I have a little chip on her, so I mean, they were fast. They were trying to compete with Viper back in the day. So
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought they were just trying to have a retro look.
it was a Viper that got it.
You wouldn't win a quarter mile with it anywhere, I don't think. But
No.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to, because I think all of them were convertibles or something like that.
They got some hard tops, but most of them were convertible.
Right. Everyone I've seen is convertible. So I was just looking at how light, and then I was looking at the power to weight ratio, and I'm like, okay, that's a lot of motor for a light car like that. It just doesn't look heavy at all. I was thinking 2,000 tops, but that's just by looking at it.
Is this a 99? Yep. Yeah, we don't drive it much because the parts for this.
Well, they didn't make them but a few years, right?
I think about 10, maybe 10, 11 years.
That many years? I didn't know it was that
it was
long.
like 4 or 5.
No, actually,
You
no.
may be right.
They made about 10, around 10,000 out.
Okay.
But it ran for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Okay. I knew it wasn't long. I I remember when they first came out, and then a few years later, I didn't see them anymore.
But
So.
in red, I think they made like 400 or 500 of them.
Yeah, that was pretty low. I mean, the purple was the really popular one.
That's what set it off, the purple.
How long you had yours?
About 6 months now?
Oh, just 6?
Oh yeah, y'all still newlyweds.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
She's still on the honeymoon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all still in the honeymoon. How long have you had yours?
A few years now. Maybe 5.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen two in.
10,000 miles on it.
I got 40.
Okay. So here's the turbo. It came on the 5.0.
Sorry. No, you're good.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
I just said, what family didn't have one of these in the 70s and the 80s?
Oh yeah.
It was ubiquitous. It was ubiquitous, man. They were everywhere. My mom had one.
yeah, this is a diesel one, you know?
Very cool.
So this is an 80s themed event. 80s themed event from the 80s. So these cars are cars from the 80s and 90s.